Where are you going? Get inside. You have to review this movie. Get back here. Hey. Where are you going? You have to review this movie. Don't go in the woods alone. You know, by watching his videos, you're encouraging this type of behavior. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show.
Tonight's movie is one of the worst films that I've ever seen. It's bad. The acting is god-awful, the music is over the top, the directing and cinematography are lackluster, and the script is just shallow. It's a bad movie on every single level, but it's one of the most entertaining films that I've ever seen. It's so bad it's good. Seriously. Tonight we're taking a look at Don't Go in the Woods. Or is it Don't Go in the Woods ... alone? You see, the poster and the spine of the film both say Don't Go in the Woods ... alone, so I guess that's what it's called. Anyway, let's start the film. We have the opening credits here and... crud. The title of the film is just Don't Go in the Woods, period. Not period alone. Alright, I got it.
Never go in the woods alone.
The film opens with a girl running away from something in the woods. I don't know why, but I have this strange feeling that she shouldn't have been in the woods. Alone. While running, she falls down in the creek. I guess she had a crick in her neck. Same joke, take two. The trees silently creak as she falls down in the creek. The water fills with blood, and this is the part of the movie where I start throwing up. No, I wasn't throwing up because of some realistic gore or anything like that. There is no gore. But instead, I was throwing up because of this terrible shaky camera footage. These shots are giving me motion sickness. Ugh. Well, in literally no time at all, we see this other guy who is alone in the woods. I don't know why, but I have a strong feeling that this guy shouldn't be in the woods alone. Well, the fate of this guy actually had me howling with laughter. Just watch. Like, what's with that harmonica? At least they showed the gore this time. It was laughably bad, but it's a ton of fun. We're not even 4 minutes into the movie, and already I'm hoping it can keep this pace up. We're then introduced to our main cast. Their acting is so hollow and bland. We get Mr. Know-It-All over here, giving out survival tips that will help them survive the movie. This was way before Randy's speech in Scream. We get this tough guy who doesn't listen to the rules.
Peter, that could have been a fatal mistake. Jumping off a log. There might have been a snake under there.
Seriously, Craig here is a total nerd. I don't really want to give a play-by-play of the whole film, but with cold opens as good as this...
And be careful of rabies, too.
just cracks me up. It's so bad. Not even 10 minutes in, and we're introduced to this weird couple. Either they're a couple or we have a weird mother and son dynamic here where the son never moved out of his mother's basement. We have Dale running up ahead to take some cool pictures while the older lady just calls for him.
Dale! Dale!
With Dale running up ahead, that means that he and his mother are alone in the woods. And they are killed very fast. Dale is climbing something, maybe. It looks like he's rock climbing, and then he gets killed right next to our main cast playing in the creek. Like, look how close his dead body is to the gang. Ridiculous. Eventually, the sheriff is made aware of a few missing people in the woods. And once he arrives in the woods, I think we're met with a jump scare. Or at least a terrible attempt at a jump scare. Watch and judge for yourself.
Oh, hi.
Hi there, be careful.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I don't get this scene at all. We've never even met this girl. The movie is formulaic. We see our main cast for about 2 minutes, and then we cut to people we've never seen before just to watch them get murdered. There's a lot of people who die in this film. The killer ends up killing about 15 people, which is rather impressive. It's too bad that some of them are off screen, but there are a few creative kills, however. Like, this one guy gets a bear trap to the face, which is pretty cool. Also, there's a sleeping bag scene that needs to be talked about. Jason Voorhees takes a person in a sleeping bag and hits them across a tree, but our killer in Don't Go in the Woods takes a tree and bashes it against a person in a hung sleeping bag. Now that is awesome. It's pretty fast paced, and the film is extremely short. It's only 82 minutes. Some parts drag, but it's only for a minute or two at a time. 15 kills in 82 minutes is rather impressive. I think like 13 of those kills happen in the first 50 minutes or so. It's pretty crazy. The film does have some major flaws though, like some terrible directing choices. See, this guy is telling a scary story around a fire, and never once do they cut to the guy telling the story. The whole time we just get the reactions of the people around the fire. I don't understand what the intention was. Characters also fall asleep in one location and wake up in another. The music is over the top. It's constantly in your face. It's experimental at times and a little too on the nose. It's a distraction. Although, there is one song in a chase scene that jams pretty good. This movie is one part Just Before Dawn, which is another 1981 horror film, one part The Final Terror, and a little bit of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Burning sprinkled in. But I think Just Before Dawn is probably the best comparison. Both came out in 1981, and both have similar villains and setups. It's people hiking in the woods, where someone who lives in the woods is out killing them all. I will review Just Before Dawn sometime later this year, so if you want to see that review, make sure you subscribe and stick around. Just Before Dawn is probably the better film. It's not saying a lot, but Don't Go in the Woods is far more entertaining. You'll either be laughing at its terribleness, or you'll be enjoying that the movie never takes itself too seriously and moves along with a high kill count. This movie has to be self-aware. It just knows that it's bad. You have this guy in a wheelchair in the middle of the woods alone. Who does that? He falls over for the longest unfunny gag I've ever seen. All in all, it's a fairly enjoyable, bad film. I thought I was going to end up hating this movie, but it's the most I physically laughed out loud during a horror film. I say get a few friends together, crack open a few cold ones, and enjoy this mess of a film. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care everyone.